Tag, and hello everyone. Today we are rebuttaling Alex Clark's video on gun control. Before we get into it, I want you to just occasionally replace when he says, or when he's implying guns with people. And it kind of makes more sense because he does a lot of this metaphorical stuff. And it gets confusing fast. Let's get into it.
If you're still not sure what to do about guns, let me explain it to you using this awful cat. Now before we start, we can all agree that banning cats won't get rid of all cats. And that a majority of people that do own cats are good people. Not every cat is an awful cat.
No, he doesn't specify how a majority of good people own good cats, just that they own cats. And he doesn't know how some bad people own good cats. It's confusing. By the way, going along with his thing of cats are guns, which guns are bad cats? Let's continue.
And I happen to love a cute, cuddly cat. Ah, look at you. So cute. Such a cute little kitty. Stupid, awful cat! That was an awful cat. And that is what we're here to talk about. Let's say you're at the movies or church or school when out of nowhere a cat pops up and claws you in the face. Suddenly, you might want to do something about this awful cat.
Like, I don't know, maybe get something to protect yourself against said awful cat? Just a thought. Maybe a gun.
Now, I live on a street that had one awful stray cat. And when no one did anything about it, one cat turned into dozens, and they were all clawing people in the face. And it's all because my neighbor, the crazy cat lady, Mrs. Nra, was leaving out giant piles of treats for cats.
Okay, I'm confused already. Are cats people now? Because I thought cats were guns. So is the NRA just giving out ammo? Is treats ammo? Is treats guns? Are cats people? I'm confused.
So you explained to your neighbor that maybe it would be okay to have a couple rules for these cats. Now you would hope that a good neighbor would understand. But she freaks out and yells at you that you're trying to ban all cats.
Yes, Mrs. Nra is right. Senator Howard Metzenbaum said, if you don't ban all guns, you might as well ban none of them. I saw this advertisement by the NRA, which explained this very well, but knowing YouTube, they've probably already taken it down, and that's why I cannot find it.
And you're just like, hey, I just don't want to get clawed in the face. I'm not banning anything.
Well, you know, maybe, Alex, you could carry a gun to not get clawed in the face. Seems like a logical conclusion to me.
And they tell you maybe if you had your own cat, you'd feel better about it. And you say, I do have a cat. It's that cute cuddly one in my window.
Now I'm utterly confused, again. If he has his own cat, and cats translates to guns, why isn't he carrying around a gun to stop other bad people with guns? It doesn't make sense. Someone, please explain.
That's not the problem. The problem is these... Again, damn it! So as you can see, we have a cat problem. And all anyone wants is to put some rules in place to stop the excessive amount of awful cats on the street.
Here's a thought. Maybe we could focus on dealing with the bad cats before they become bad cats. How do you classify a good cat and a bad cat? Or a good gun and a bad gun? Or a good person and a bad person? You see, it gets very confusing and hard to deal with very fast.
But instead, I'm looking out my window and see an even bigger, scarier lions, tigers, cheetahs, and AR-15.
Notice how he pulled out the AR-15. Not a handgun that's used much more often for gun crime than most of those 50 or so school shootings were done with. Funny thing is, I actually got to go and shoot a AR-15 the other day.
That's not the same as a regular cat.
Then can someone please explain to me, what is a regular cat?
But my crazy cat lady neighbor wants you to think it's okay for everybody to own a cheetah. What? No. Would you stop it, Mrs. Nra? Really? And sure, there are people out there with the proper knowledge and training to understand the responsibilities of owning a cheetah.
See, this is the big issue with using all these metaphorical stuff. I don't know what a cheetah is. Is a cheetah a fully automatic weapon? Because those are already banned. Is it An AR-15? Did you just say AR-15 twice in there? You're gonna have to be more specific, man.
But when the cheetahs keep ending up in schools clawing kids in the face, I don't think the answer is to put more cheetahs in the school.
Actually, it might be.
And I don't think the best way to buy a cheetah is to walk into Petco and go, hey, I want a cheetah. Oh, okay, here you go.
I believe what Alex is hinting at here is something called the gun show loophole, which basically states that I can go into any gun dealership or gun show that I want and get a fully automatic rifle with no background check. This, as you guessed, is false. If you want to see it proven wrong, I have a link in the description of somebody going into multiple gun shows and gun dealerships and trying to get a fully automatic rifle without a background check, and even a semi-automatic rifle without a background check, and it doesn't work.
And I think we all can agree that it's impossible to get rid of all cats. Which is good, because there's tons of cute, cuddly ones. But let's make some rules that limit and prevent how many awful cats wind up on our street.
Once again, what is a awful cat?
Less awful cats means less people clawed in the face. Sure, they still might get attacked by a dog or abducted by aliens, but let's handle this one problem at a time. And while this won't solve all cat problems, there's a good chance it'll help with a lot. Like, they had a similar cat problem over on Australia Street, and after they put rules in place, good people still owned good cats, but no one has gotten clawed in the face in over 20 years.
I'm not sure if he's hinting at something with that whole nobody clawed in the face in the last 20 years thing, but Australia's gun crime was already on a downhill slope. Plus, if you tried to implement that into the US, you would still have a crap ton of guns. I have multiple links in the description if you want to check them out about Australia's guns. In fact, according to the Huffington Post, it's actually a lot easier than you think to get a gun in Australia.
And to all the teenagers on my street that are fed up with that cat lady, I'm really proud of you for being so brave.
Brave? What are you talking about? There was a kid actually being brave at one of those school walkouts, and he got kicked out of the protest by the principal.
So I hope that explains to you the problem we're having with guns. Now I have a feeling that the comments on this video are gonna get a little out of hand. If you see that, could you help me out? Direct the conversation back to what laws can we put in place to get less guns in the hands of wrong people. It's important and something we should talk about constructively.
Notice that this is the only time in the video he talks about getting guns in the hands of wrong people. Though I think he's starting to come around. I think he's gotten off the subject of banning all guns, and now he's where, yeah, let's just focus on getting them out of the hands of bad people. Let's focus on firing people who run out and don't go into an active school shooting.
How can we stop Mrs. Nra?
Whoa, we just took a quick U-turn there, going directly towards Mrs. Nra, because she is the root of all evil. If you guys want a better idea of how to stop school shootings, check out Jake Paul's video on how to stop school shootings.
She's a good lady, she's just a little too into her cats. Maybe we could get her to be interested in a new American pastime, like give everyone on the street free apple pie.
I'm just curious real quick, I thought about this while watching this video. Is apple pie like a metaphor for drugs? Since we're just so deep down that rabbit hole, I just thought maybe apple pie's drugs. So Mrs. Nra could focus on drugs and we could still blame her for all our problems.
There's a rally on March 24th in Washington, D.C., and I would love it if you could attend. I'll have all that information down below. That said, we'll be back to the regularly scheduled videos starting soon.
I saw this really cool fan art at the end and I really liked it. I'm sad that it got thrown into this mess. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Auf Wiedersehen.